$2,400.
2 years ago, Janet Livingston faced one of the most difficult problems an entrepreneur can face. Her business had outgrown her ability to manage it. Answer Center America, her Northside call center, was booming, landing big customers and adding revenue at a rate of around 40% a year. But as her 2006 sales approached $3 million, Livingston's margins were shrinking. Every time she landed new business, Livingston hired more operators. Soon, payroll was eating up to 70% of her costs and all of her profits. Her clients and employees seemed thrilled with Answer Center's performance, but Livingston knew it was a lot worse than it looked.
Everybody here thought the growth was phenomenal. We must be just making buckets of money. And I realized we weren't making money.
Livingston had been through this before. In 2004, her business was changing from a traditional answering service taking after-hours calls for doctors, plumbers, and other small businesses to a full-blown call center handling customer service for national consumer companies. Back then, to get a handle on growth, she had to shut down Answer Center's sales. 2 years later, Livingston didn't want to drop that hammer again, but clearly the business she'd founded in 1995 and to which she'd given 10 years of her life was at a crossroads.
In my heart, I knew we were heading down a bad path. And so I talked to a few people, a few peers, people I respect, and I said, what do I do here? They said, you have two options, sell it or change it. And I chose to change it.
Enter Trey Bynum. Livingston found Bynum in Panama City, Florida, where he was running a call center for telecom giant Sprint, managing 950 operators. Bynum chafed under Sprint's bureaucracy, but he knew the value of controls and he understood how to bring scale to a growing business. A year ago, he moved to Chicago to become general manager of Answer Center America, working for Janet Livingston, though in many ways, Livingston would be taking orders from him. Bynum wasted no time. Livingston had assembled a management team of 8 key players. Bynum fired 3 of them. Livingston gave him veto power over new business, and he used it, quashing deals with potential clients whose own growth plans looked weak, and heading off the kind of toxic customer relationships that had drained Answer Center profits for years. In the early going, Livingston had a hard time letting go. For 10 years, she'd been making every decision of consequence at the company she founded. Then, one day in May, the phone system went down at the company's main call center on North Broadway. Without consulting Livingston, Bynum ordered all the operators to a backup facility down the street. When she saw the empty desks, Livingston stormed into Bynum's office, demanding to know what he'd done.
And he said, Janet, they have to get to the other call center to take calls. It's the tone of voice he used. No one ever spoke to me that way. And I had a tremendous amount of respect from him from that day forward. I knew I could now trust him to run this company.
Still, even as Livingston took her hands off the wheel, reducing her involvement to big deals and strategic discussions, Bynum could tell it wasn't always easy.
It's very hard, I think, for her because she started this company with a phone and the phone book, really, and landing new clients. So it's really been her baby.
A year later, Livingston sees her baby growing up, fast. Last year, revenue jumped 32% to $5.1 million. On December 31st, the company signed a deal to handle all the phone orders and customer support for Chicago-based American Mattress. This year, Livingston sees enough new business in the pipeline to push Answer Center to $10 million in sales. It's not the first time she's tasted success, but this time, Livingston can enjoy it all the more, watching her business flourish after she let it go.
I always thought if I was not sitting at this desk, this company would not function. And I now realize today ACA can function without me. And that's refreshing. Now, a year ago, I think that's what anchored me. It was who I was instead of realizing I'm more than just ACA.